Did you know that there are scientific studies that claim that the average gamer is vastly more intelligent than the average non-gamer? Yeah, I don't buy it also. Considering I'm a gamer and I know what gamers are like, yeah, that seems completely ununderstandable to me. I think this misconception stems from the fact that a lot of games imply things that you would see in an IQ test. Principles that kind of make you better at solving IQ tests. Because if you have ever wondered, can you train for an IQ test? The simple answer is yes. Yes, you can. And a lot of games in non-direct ways kind of train you for IQ tests to a certain degree. So a lot of people score a little bit of a fraction better than they would averagely score. And considering gamers are people who desperately want to be better than the average person, they obviously want to feel superior and more intelligent. And that's what they do. And that's how misconceptions are born. They hear that they're more intelligent than the average person, and then they think to themselves, wow, that is so true. I play a World of Tanks. I know better than 99.999% of the world about German World War II tanks that are completely inapplicable to real life anymore, or even in that time was kind of like esoteric knowledge that didn't really matter too much. And then they think they're better. And then they actually meet a historian who specializes in the World War II time period, and they absolutely get cheek clapped. And that is the essence what I think a gamer honestly is. Gamers are just desperate for this. And that's how you get to videos like this. The Irreversible Corruption of World of Warcraft. Neat title, by the way. The whole point of this video is spreading the misinformation of one of the, I would probably maybe say, biggest misunderstanding about microtransactions in gaming. The common idea of microtransactions that has been perpetuated by channels like Billiard Gaming, making videos like this, and then literal morons like Asmongold watching a video like this, having absolutely no opinion or understanding of the subject of their own, and just parroting those ideas. We have gotten to the situation where people have this wrong think of the idea that microtransactions are designed to save time for people. Which, if you look at it from a very far perspective, only on the surface side, may actually seem correct for most people. But the reality is, it is completely false. And I'm gonna explain it. And boys, trust me, you need to sit down for this, because when I explain it, I'm gonna explain it so fast, so easy, you're gonna probably get an aneurysm, just because you will not understand how the hell did you previously even held to believe that microtransactions are designed to make people play less games. Oh my god. And this is what happens with channels like this. Billiard Gaming is a pretty neat channel when it comes to World of Warcraft. But when it comes to business and actual scientific stuff, oh my god, it just turns into a shit show parody of, loose facts and amalgamations of semi-truths and whatnot. It is absolutely hilarious. And there are people who are currently thinking, but this guy owns a business and whatnot. Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people, by the way, in gaming, on Twitch, and so on, own businesses and employ multiple people. And most of those people are absolute fucking morons. Because what none of these people tell you, because they have absolutely no real life experience in this, is the fact that influencer business is fundamentally the exact almost opposite of real business. Like, I'm gonna give you some real quick real life examples from what have I seen and personally done. In the influencer business, contracts almost don't matter. Sure, there are some bad contracts that you can sign, and people will try to always take advantage of you. But in most times, like, you maybe have seen this before, but there are multiple videos that explain that, this contract I signed was absolutely devastating, didn't get paid or anything because I broke the contract. Do you want to hear a strange thing? I have almost broke absolutely every contract I have done for promotion of some kind of mobile game or something like that. And I have had many. And guess what? I have gotten paid every single time without question, without folly. Literally, 5 days passed, get paid. You know why? Because I write them a specific email explaining that, yeah, if they fuck with me, I am just gonna create shit. Because this is the difference between influencers and real businesses. If I would ever do something like that to a real business, they would be like, you broke a part of our contract just now, emailing us the idea that you will complain. Here's literally 10 lawyers, and your ass is about to get so fucked it's never gonna recover. That's real business. But in the influencer business, they're like, ah, yes, you broke this clause that said that you're not gonna get paid even a cent for it. That's fine. We're not gonna enforce it because, yeah, we don't actually want you doing anything because public images matter. In real business, if you sign a bad contract, you just get laughed at as an idiot. I have seen situations where a contract as simple as delivery times gets rewritten 3 times from each side just because that's how it is. The most minorest of contracts in real businesses get read by legit lawyers, legit different lawyers, multiple times by each one to not get screwed over. It is absolutely wild. You know, there's this. I once saw this famous thing by Asmongold where he said, being nice to the person that you are talking to in business dealings is the same as getting all the best karma choices in a game or something like that. It was just the point. It was the concept that if you are being nice to someone that you are gonna start business to, you're gonna get all the best options. I need to stop the video because, my god, when I heard that, I just fell out of my fucking chair. The guy is probably getting played for millions by companies and he has absolutely no clue just because he's that stupid. There is not a single business in this world that will give you the better deal that will hurt themselves and help you because of it. That just simply does not almost ever happen. Now a company can be like, okay, we're gonna not do this and blah blah blah, wait a little bit longer to do this and you're gonna be fine. But that's for small things. No company will ever sign a deal that's unbeneficial for them while it's beneficial for you. It doesn't matter how good your relationships are, it's not happening. I have personally seen this many times. A deal has been signed 10 years ago and someone finds a flaw, and you know what happens? They instantaneously exploit this flaw. It doesn't matter that you have had business dealings with this company for 10 years. You just fuck them instantaneously, and you know what happens? 1 week later, the same representatives are there and just a new contract. Yeah, no longer this exploitation will be allowed. Have a nice day. No one's even fucking mad. Because that's actual business. But that doesn't happen in the gaming world. Well, it does happen, but it's more or less a little bit rare. And people like Billiard have absolutely no clue. Like, for example, again, this idea, this concept that microtransactions where a company creates a problem and then sells you a solution is about time saving is absolutely redundant. And let me explain why. And again, seriously, if you're standing right now, sit down because you may get an aneurysm of purely how absolutely brainlessly simple this concept is. Imagine that you are the owner of a gaming company. You have made a game, and your plan is to make money through the game. And you, as a smart person, understand that microtransactions earn multiple times more than an actual stable buy price. So you naturally go for the microtransaction route. And you, as also a smart person, understand that there is an inherent synergy between the amount of money spent on the game and the amount of time played by a person. The longer that someone plays the game, the higher the likelihood that they buy something in it. You understand that completely, because again, you're a smart person, right? And now imagine, someone comes up to you from your employees and says, boss, listen, I got this amazing idea to make more money through microtransactions, and this is the pitch. We're gonna make people play the game less and sell that to them. I would fire that person right on the spot. Microtransactions at the very surface may seem like it's time saving, but the reality about gaming and microtransactions is that there has never been a single person in gaming who has spent money to skip the content that they want to play. No, that has never happened in the history of ever. But there are countless people that have paid money to skip to get to the plays that they want to play. For example, if you want to if you want to level and enjoy the leveling experience in World of Warcraft and the story of the early leveling zones, you're not gonna buy a level boost to level 60 or whatever the current level is. You're never gonna do that because that is directly counteractive to the goal that you want to do in the game, and that is level and enjoy the story. So you're never gonna buy that because while that would technically save you time, that's completely not the thing that you want to do. But a person like this could buy literally power. If they could buy power to skip dungeons or to see the dungeon story or just instantaneously complete them if that would get them more of the story bits. Are you starting to understand what I mean by this? No one will ever spend money to not play the parts of the game they want, but they will spend money to skip the parts of the game that they don't want to do. If, for example, a player wants to experience the end raids, then they will buy a level boost and they will just start doing the end raids. If a person just wants to have the most geared character possible, they will literally buy boosts and everything just to acquire that point of having the gear. No one is gonna just skip the parts that they want to experience something that they don't want. And this is the big misunderstanding. There has never been a game that has designed a single feature about the idea of you playing the game less. Even the most blatant, yes, this is gonna save you time situations are designed so you just skip the parts of the game that you don't want, and then you play the parts of the game you want more. It's never designed to save time. It's never designed to make you play less of the game. And this is the fundamental concept that is pushed in this video. And that's absolutely false. And there's a lot of situations like that in gaming, where people look at some kind of problem, some kind of situation from the very broad surface of it and say, yeah, looks like that, so it must be it. But in reality, no successful game has ever intentionally designed something that will make you play the game less. Because you also need to remember, imagine if you're playing some kind of MMO, and your goal is to play the end game. And if the leveling process is long and tedious, if a person doesn't have at least the ability to skip it through paying, there's a chance that they just get bored of the leveling process and they quit the game entirely. That's why that's why there is a level boost to begin with. Because some people who want to get to the end game as in raiding or something like that, or PvP maybe, they may quit the game because of the leveling process. So the people who want to experience the late game will pay to skip the early parts of the game because that's not what they're interested in, and playing that may force them to actually just leave the game. Do you understand? Nothing ever in gaming is designed to just make you play less. Even functions like wait less time so something is done is designed so you can just get to the part that you want to do faster. It's always the same and it will never change. Anyone who tells you that developers just make X part of the game take longer and then sell you the solution because they want you to pay money to save time, it's wrong. It's always 100% wrong.